Have you ever felt frustrated by customer support that just rattles off information in a flat tone with zero empathy? Now, what if AI could speak with sensitivity? Let's meet Parth Sarthi, co founder of Chariot, India's frontier artificial intelligence lab, building exactly that. Welcome, Parth, to DD India. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thank you so much for having me here.
Pleasure. Beyond the teaser I gave, tell us about Chariot and what it is building.
Absolutely. The Chariot is a AI frontier lab. We're based out of Delhi NCR, and we're building speech models. So if you look at models in the West, ChatGPT and so on, they work mostly via text. But India is a voice-first country, so our models are speech models. We aim to compete with the West on such models. And really, the core technology behind our model and the winning fact is that it can actually reason, it can actually think about what is being said rather than just saying what the user intended.
So it processes it in a way and then delivers. Before we expand on this, we know that you are a core team member, but who are the other members? What are their respective roles? And how was your team chosen for the AI mission?
Yeah, absolutely. So Chariot is co-founded by me, Parth, and Surat Bhushan. So Suvrat actually went to US for his master's, for his undergrad and master's at Stanford. And then he was at the Facebook AI research team for 2 years. And then he returned 5 years ago and he started a company called GAN Studio, which makes AI avatars. So they've worked with the likes of all the famous celebrities and actors. And now we're both sort of starting off on this journey with Chariot. Our other team members, our team is comprised of research engineers from IITs and hedge funds. And then we also have data annotators from all around India to actually help create this data.
Interesting. And you are building a model that works with the natural, sensitive, empathetic communication. And that communication needs to fit the bill in every context, be it storytelling or customer support or emergency helplines, to name a few scenarios. Can you explain to us, with the help of an example, how exactly will that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So our first product, which is a text-to-speech model, so it converts text into speech. And if you look at existing solutions out there, what they do is they just simply say what's been told to them to speak. Our model, on the other hand, will actually understand. So if you look at, let's say someone is building an AI teacher today, right? So what differentiates good teachers from, let's say, an average teacher is that a good teacher can really captivate the class, right? You don't even know where the time went. They can like modulate their tone, their prosody, depending on the context is, right? They can go fast, they can go slow, and they can really engage with the students. So similarly, our models, the speech model, can do that. It can understand what's being said, it can understand how to actually say it, and then reason over it, and then say it. So if you look at, for example, advisories or some, let's say, an emergency advisory, you want the model to have that seriousness. You want, people who are listening to it to know that this is a serious conversation. They need to take action now. Whereas today's models are more robotic. They will just say, okay, please, let's say, go to a higher elevation and so on. If you look at tourism, like if you look at tour guides and let's say AI tour guides, you want them to be very engaging. You want them to, tell a story in the manner of someone who's from there, have that flair to it. And that is the core thing that our model will be able to do.
So, how did this idea strike you and your core team members? Was there an inspiration behind this? And is this an out of the box idea which is quite original, or do you have parallels for something like this around the world?
So actually, the most interesting thing about speech reasoning models is it hasn't been done anywhere. So a lot of, there's obviously the West has done a lot of stuff in AI and done a lot of innovation there. But this is a paradigm where we're not playing catch up with any of the models in the West, but we're actually aiming to pioneer this technology out of India, show that great research can actually be done in India, and India can be one of the frontier players in this field. So for example, I was in the US, I also went to Stanford, and then I was at Google DeepMind, where I worked on multimodal reasoning for Gemini Deep Link, which is multimodal reasoning is, again, these models of today, which can reason, but not only in text, but also in images and so forth. So we actually want to show that such research we can also do out of India, and a new kind of research, opening new avenues that we can take the lead in.
So can it be called an AI disruption?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
By the way.
What are the languages that this particular model will be able to speak in?
So we are starting off with the top 10 Indian languages and English. And our plan is actually to support all 22 official languages of India and English, and also the top 10 global languages apart from these.
Where will you roll it out first?
We will roll it out in India, but obviously the model is intended for the world as well.
So you're making in India for India and the world?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, our team is in India. The compute that earlier wasn't available to us now via the India mission and via the Honorable Prime Minister's vision, we actually have the compute, we have the data, and we have the team. So now the plan is to actually, show that India can be on the world stage and can compete with the players of the West.
So I also wanted to know, what is your end goal? What is the larger vision that you are looking at? Is this the first step in a series of things that you plan to do? Do you further plan to build on this model once the initial model is ready? How do you plan to go about this?
Yeah, this is just the first step. So, we're starting off with text to speech, so which is one of the major use cases for voice. But we do intend on releasing further models that will be, that will compete with, for example, ChatGPT and so on. So these models, again, the difference would be that these would be voice first. But again, as you use ChatGPT for all these things, you can also use our models for all of these things. So we're just getting started, and this journey is a long one.
If you followed the budget speech, we saw that there is a 21-year tax holiday that's been announced for AI data centers, for cloud services that give services within India and around the world. How do you think that this is going to promote AI? Because you're very much in this realm. So what are your thoughts about what's been announced?
Yeah, I think it's a great move by the government, because I think so GPUs and compute is primarily the biggest bottleneck to making such models. So having more of such compute in India would be is really, really important, and it will be really great for all of the startups and all of the people wanting to build in AI in India. So having that, I think it's a great, fantastic move by the government.
You're also in the run-up to the AI Impact Summit, for which this interview is actually taking place. So tell us, will we see you there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we are planning on having a booth there. So if you come to the summit, please come to our booth. Secondly, we're actually also hosting our own session on the 20th. The session is on how India can actually have a ecosystem that allows us to build such systems. So we're going to have speakers showing on all 5 layers how we can actually build the ecosystem required to continue this innovation.
Will you also be presenting your model in a primary manner?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this model I'm talking about, we aim to have a small research demo to show to the world about its capabilities. Yeah.
And how do you look at the way India is hosting such a big summit? It's one of its kind as far as Global South is concerned. You've attended the various AI conferences. How do you look at the way India is taking the lead in the developing world, in the Global South, that is, when it comes to AI discourse, policy making, thinking out of the box, and implementing?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing that this is happening in India. Obviously, India is already on the world stage in many aspects, but just showcasing all of the things that are going on in India, I think it's very important across all 5 layers of the technology, right? So I think it's happening at the right moment. We are in this new age of AI, and showcasing how we can build solutions and showcasing our technology that that actually will be used by the population scale of India, and how we can do that, I think is very important. It's actually something that we can take the lead in and actually show to the world this is how India does things and so on.
Where do you think this is taking us or leading us to? Because there are already major giants who are well established, the United States and China. For instance, do you see India emerging as the biggest player in future?
I think so. I think, we are, as I said, India needs to not just catch up, but actually show that we can pioneer research out of India, that we can not only have our own chat GPT and so on equivalents, but actually we have such smart people in India, and we have a lot of people also returning to India to build these things. We can actually show that we can take the lead, and we can even teach others how to build better AI.
Thank you so much, Parth, for speaking to us on DD India. It was such a pleasure to speak to a bright young mind like you on AI and the kind of potential that India has to play it big in this realm. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure.